What's up, you guys? Welcome back into iHeartRadio's official wrestling podcast, the Battleground Podcast, and it has been an exciting week here on the show. We literally watched somebody commit arson on TV on Wednesday night, and now we're here to talk about a big event that's happening this weekend. We've got AEW All Out live from Chicago, and today on the show we have our guest, Willow Nightingale, is with us. Willow, how are you?
Woohoo!
Howdy! I'm doing well. Getting ready to beat up an ex-friend, and there are a lot of emotions that I am feeling, but overall, we'll go with good. Feeling good.
Yeah, and that kind of wants I kind of want to ask just how are we feeling? This weekend All Out, you've got a former friend and a Chicago street fight, which you're no stranger to street fights whatsoever. But what are your thoughts heading into this match, and how important is this opportunity for you to make a statement and finally put this feud with Statlander behind you?
Well, I feel like there's the cliche of like thin line between love and hate. And the root of that is just how passionate you are about something. And Statlander is somebody I've been really close friends with from pretty early on in my career. I put a lot of trust into, confided in a lot, really been vulnerable with. And for me, street fights were something that we even came together as a team on previously and really kind of dug into this new level of who we were as performers and wrestlers and fighters. And that was really cool. I thought that was very cool. So it feels fitting that we would end something on such a passionate, physical, violent note. And so I am excited to show her, hey, don't cross me. But also a little nervous, a little apprehensive. I can't lie. That is the flurry of emotion that I am kind of experiencing right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is it satisfying getting your hands on Stokely?
Yeah, I mean, it is. He has been a thorn in my side, even when things were cool with Stat and I. It was kind of like, hey, I think this guy sucks. I think he's terrible. He's annoying. Sometimes he's a little bit funny, but more than anything, he's just kind of a bother. But you seem to like him, so if for whatever reason you feel like we can benefit from working with him, I'll let you be. I'll let it rock.
Right.
Obviously, that did not turn out for the better for me.
Right.
And
Right.
so there's a little bit of vindication that I received about 2 weeks ago at All In. I got to team up with Big Tom. But the real, I think, moment of vindication that I will feel is when I do finally get my hands on Stat, because that's the core of this, really, is
Right.
she's the one who
Yeah.
broke my heart.
Mm-hmm. This is something I think kind of adjacent to that. I've always been curious about this. So, you're no stranger to the street fights, the death matches, the hardcore, all that kind of stuff. There was a very well-known tournament back in the 90s, the King of the Death Matches, famously won by Cactus Jack. Would you want to bring in a Queen of the Death Matches and do it properly in 2024? Would you wave that flag?
I don't know that that is necessarily something that I would excel in. Maybe like when I was early in my career on the indies, I like very badly kind of wanted to get into a little bit of the deathmatch scene. Um, Obviously that didn't happen, and then it really wasn't until I came to AW that they started putting me in street fights, which I did not mind because I was a fan of that kind of stuff. But I don't know that
That's
a
the
full
deep end.
tournament of it would be for me. Yeah, not at this point.
Yeah.
Not at this point where I'm at. I think it would be cool to see.
Yeah, I think
But
so too. I think the ladies have digested this stuff just as the guys have, and some of the street fights we've seen from you guys have shown very creative, very violent. So I would be very
I
anxious
want to
to see.
have a very long career. I think
Yeah,
at
that's
this
true.
point, longevity is the name of the game, and we can throw a
Yeah,
little bit of fun here and there. But I don't.
long game.
Yeah, long game.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, absolutely. So, AEW has shown incredible diversity and inclusion, especially in the women's division. But you look at the IWC, the people on the internet, the keyboard warriors, right? Some feel that the women's division doesn't always get the same spotlights as the men's. How do you feel about the current state of the women's division in AEW, and what would you like to see change, if anything?
I mean, I think we've come a really long way just in the 2 years that I've been here. I think a lot of the issues initially with the women's division were kind of stemmed in years and years and years of stigma against women in professional wrestling. Like, I think it's a lot deeper than just Tony saying, I want to give the girls time or I don't. I think it's much bigger than him just saying that because fans do ultimately have a little bit of say in what we do. They like, this is our company. We're gonna call the shots. We're gonna do what we're gonna do, and we're gonna make them pay attention and whatever. But it's hard when there's years and years of stigma of being like, this is the bathroom break match, and people immediately tune out before they even give us a chance. And over the course of the 5 years that AEW has been running, you can see that we've been giving so much more time, more opportunities, more spots on. I lost you guys.
But there we go.
We call that cut and paste.
Happen again.
Yeah.
But you've seen over time that we've had more spots on the show, more opportunities, more time. And that's because over the 5 years, we've like forced people to pay attention to us. And so with that, we get higher ratings, we get more people trusting us, we get more people paying attention, more equity. And so that is a large part in thanks to what we've done, and the women who were at AEW before me have done as well. But thank you, fans, for tuning in. Keep doing that. Keep supporting us. Keep being very vocal online about how you want to see us in bigger positions. And, I can't deny the fact that Mercedes coming to our company has helped us, because she has. She's been an advocate for all of us, all of the division. And again, progress is something that is very slow. That is something that is bigger than wrestling. When you look at all the social change that our country or different countries have gone through and will continue to go through, progress is slow. And so to see that reflected in wrestling, something that already is kind of a little further back socially and progressively as the rest of the world, it's nice to see us kind of catching up and getting there. And it's been 5 years, which is not a long time, and we've already progressed so much. So I am excited and proud and happy to have been a part of that. But of course, I would love to see it more for a women's match to main event more regularly, or more matches on pay-per-views and like these big shows. But it's happening. So just keep going with what's working.
Yeah, there you go.
Absolutely.
And I guess some revolutions are slower than others, so it takes a little bit of time.
Like I said, we're a 5-year-old company, so
yeah. So this is kind of crazy. You just got back from Wembley. You're gonna have All Out coming out this weekend coming up. And then on September 13th, you're going to Arena Mexico for the CMLL 91st anniversary show to defend the CMLL Women's World Championship. Crazy. You're on a short list of women that have competed on those stages. What are your thoughts heading into that? You don't want to jump over a Statlander caliber opponent, obviously, but looking past her, I don't mean to say it that way. Looking past her, what are your thoughts with heading into this event? What do you think this means for you and AEW? And what are you looking forward to most in your match against Zeuxis?
Well, obviously.
And then congrats on being the champ too. That's just unbelievable. By the way, congrats.
Thank you. They told me yesterday that I am actually the first American to hold that championship, and I was like, I did not know that.
Whoa, no, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so I was like, really cool.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
I figured someone would have, like Luna Fajan or somebody would have been down there causing havoc before, but hey, that's even more
Awesome.
incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So definitely not overlooking Statlander. You know, CMLL doesn't. They're not big into the blood and the guts and the hardcore stuff. So they're not even sanctioning the match. So it's not for the title. But I have to imagine that if what I'm planning on doing happens, if the plan that I have for Statlander goes as planned, and me knowing her, thinking that she would have a lot of brutality in store for me as well, obviously I have to take into account that I'm probably not going to be feeling my best after this match. Win, lose, whatever draw, I'm going to probably be feeling like a pile of poo the next day. So I have to take that into account when I'm thinking ahead. And there's the question of like, do you push your training harder? Do you give yourself a break? Mexico City, the elevation is a little killer. It's that plays a factor in the game. So these are all things that I have been considering going into that match. And I am excited nonetheless because the last time I was in Arena Mexico, I felt so much love. I felt like this air of just like the best word that pops in my head right now is like regality. Like we don't have a building like Arena Mexico in the United States. We don't have a structure that is specifically dedicated to professional wrestling and has been there for upwards of 60, 70 years. I think it was built in the 50s, if I'm not mistaken. And that is insane, the amount of history, the amount of professional wrestling matches, the culture, the love, the passion that has been poured into that building and that like seeps through those walls. We don't have anything like that. So to go there and visit that and see the fans who is so deeply ingrained in their culture and lifestyle is a joy. So I'm excited. I'm very excited, even though I'm probably going to be hurting and breathing like, but I've been so honored to be carrying this championship with me. I look forward to, hopefully carrying it for a very long time and making more trips to Mexico City because that's what I want to do. And Zusius is someone who I had my first match at CMLL against in a 6-woman tag. So I do have a level of familiarity with her. She came up to AEW to wrestle Mercedes ahead of Forbidden Door. So I also got to check out her work firsthand again in a singles match. And, I've been keeping tabs. I am the CMLL World Women's Champion, so I need to have my finger on the pulse and figure out what's going on over there, who my competition is, who I'm representing, because I am aware that I was put into a three-way match that did have a CML representative there, an AEW representative, and a New Japan Strong representative, and I swept that up. But I don't have a vast experience as a part of the Amazonas division, and so I have to realize too, I won this, and I'm representing AEW first and foremost always. But as I carry that banner around, I'm representing all of these women as well. So I have to be familiar with them, and like I take a lot of pride in that, and I take a lot of pride in what they do, and I'm proud to be carrying that flag right now. Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, are you? I think the technical term is Rudo. Are you running as a Rudo? Yeah, are you running a Rudo down there, or are you Technico?
I'm just
Americans historically are. I was going to say historically Americans are the greatest.
This is something that I've come across being somebody who is an international traveler. Is usually whenever you're the foreigner, you are the bad guy. And people can look at me and feel that way, especially they pick promo photos of me where I look a little more like, I'm going to beat you up. I'm a tough guy. And listen, I am a tough guy. Do not mix matters. Yes. But I'm going to have a good time doing that. And so whatever way I'm painted, or however fans perceive me, whatever they expect, I don't put a title or label on it. Even in the United States, in AEW or wherever else I go, I'm not like, hey, I'm this or I'm that. I'm just Willow. Wherever I go, I'm Willow. Whether I'm having a good time dancing around or kicking your butt. I'm going to be
Yeah.
who I am authentically 100% of the time, always. So I don't subscribe to that.
Yeah, nice. Good answer.
So I do have a question, and this is always, we come towards the end of our show where we have a little fun, and I've got 2 questions for you. The first one is, when they came to you in AEW and said, hey, we're making you an action figure, what's going through your mind? And the fact that you're not just getting an action figure, you're getting part of the rare edition. You're getting a Chase version of you. Not many people can say that in that roster.
I didn't know. I knew I was getting an action figure at the end of last year is kind of when they first started talking about it. And the first thought I had was, I got to tell my dad. Because, like, that is one of the things that he's always like, when are you getting an action figure? He was also so mad that I dyed my hair from purple. Because he was like, you didn't even get an action figure yet, and you got rid of the purple hair. Think about how cool it would be to have an action figure with purple hair. And I was like, I'm sorry, it was ruining my hair. I had to get rid of it. I loved it.
Right.
So I didn't even, I just was like, I'm getting one, and that's an honor, and that's great, and I can't wait until it comes out. It really wasn't until I was doing San Diego Comic-Con that I found out that there were going to be 2. And I didn't know anything about a Chase. I didn't know what that meant. And I was like, oh, this one's got to be like limited edition, right? Like I was using that term. And I spoke to Smart Mark Sterling, who is, if you're aware of the Major Figures situation, that whole network that they have.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, that's the guy I need to talk to about action figures. And I was like, yeah, they got like a rare figure. And he goes, oh, they made a Chase? And I was like, a Chase? What's that? And so he was really the one who kind of filled me in on like how special that is. And I was like, damn, that's cool. And that to me is like one of the things that obviously like action figure, that's on the bucket list, but I didn't realize like, oh, that's cool. That's an extra. It's kind of similar to when they put me on the truck. They put my face on the AW truck. I was like, man, I didn't even know that was something that I wanted to happen.
Yeah.
But now that it's here, like, damn, that's freaking cool.
Yeah.
So I'm stoked about it. I can't wait. Obviously, I'm sure that they're gonna hook me up and send me a few of them, but I want to do the Chase, and I want to go to Targets or Walmarts or wherever stores, and I want to find it on the shelves myself.
Yep.
So
that's the name of the game.
yeah,
Definitely
I'm excited.
is. Well, we've got one more question to ask, and then we're gonna let you hop off here because I know your time is busy because you got to get ready for Statlander this weekend, and then of course you're defending your championship down there in Mexico. At the end of the show, we always like to turn to ChatGPT to ask our guests a question. We type in ask our guest a question, and it usually spits out, how did you start your career in wrestling, which everybody can go to Wikipedia and find that out. So we kind of have to, slap it around like you're going to do Statlander on this weekend.
Yeah.
And finally it came out with a question that's fun. What is your ultimate go-to karaoke song, and how would you rate your performance on a scale of 1 to 10?
Oh, so my go-to karaoke song is What's Up by the Four Non-Blondes.
Oh,
Four Non-Blondes. Very good.
I would give myself a 10 out of 10.
Hey,
well, yeah, naturally.
There you
You're
go.
a champion.
We're gonna have to.
Now I have to unearth a video. I'm sure my mother or my father or my sister, somebody has it somewhere, and I gotta post it so you guys can see that.
Yeah,
that's the one.
Let me present mine to you. My go-to.
No, I'm interested.
It depends.
Please tell me.
Yeah, it depends on the situation. I will a lot of times will go with I Want to Dance with Somebody, Whitney Houston.
That's
I
good.
give that about an 8. I give that about an 8.
Pipes.
I
can't sing
I got to do falsetto for a lot of it, but a lot of the high notes I hit. It's really like when the key changes. That one I got to falsetto.
Oh, a modulation.
But,
that is also, side note, my favorite musical term is a modulation. It's fun to say, and I love when a key change happens.
And they don't happen as much anymore in music. That's true. Very good call.
Shame.
Other than that, it's usually Mostly 80s stuff. It's Journey. It's Bryan Adams. It's
that's good.
I'll bring out everything I do for you. I'll do Kiss from a Rose. I don't care.
That was
So,
what I was going
If
to
you're
say.
in Nashville, we're kind of like the karaoke
Walk by
city here. So
Pantera is a fun
come on
one.
down. We'll go.
Walk is a great one. I
that
gotta
is a
agree
good one.
with Eli.
That feels
on
like
one.
I would need to have it with Brody there. I feel like Brody would have to be there for that.
You know what? I haven't done karaoke with Brody. So maybe I'll.
Well,
put a
so
pin in
here's what we'll do, because
Here we
my go-to karaoke is either Aerosmith's I Don't Want to Miss a Thing or Steel Kiss from a Rose. Like, I get down to both of those. So what we'll do.
I know we're like trying to wrap up the call, but I have to do a little shout out for Don't Want to Miss a Thing by Aerosmith, because my home promotion where I learned how to wrestle, NYWC, after our shows, we would always end up going to this bar that always did karaoke, and that would be like the group song that everybody who came from the show would sing. I Don't Want to Miss a Thing by Aerosmith. So you said that, and it sent me back. Like, oh, I have to put that song on later.
Boom.
Those are my two go-to all the time. So next time you do a show here in Nashville, after the show, we'll all get together. We'll go to Santa's Pub, which is this little trailer that the guy literally is Santa Claus, and he'll tell you a story about how he's been stabbed and shot multiple times.
Oh my God.
And everything is cash only. So we'll all go and we'll sing karaoke.
But it's the best place to go
they
for
got this
karaoke.
on Wednesday nights? They have karaoke on Wednesday nights?
They have it every night. So we'll go. Well, Willow, it's an honor and a privilege to have you on the show. Definitely have to do this very, very soon. And before we let you go, anything you want to say to people that are watching or listening to this right now?
Tune into AEW Dynamite on Wednesday nights on TBS at 8 p.m. Central, or TNT. You can catch Rampage Friday nights at 10 p.m. Central, or Collision, which we also have on TNT at 8 p.m. Central. And, of course, if you're not at the Now Arena for All Out this Saturday, you better be tuning in either on ppv.com, Bleacher Report, or Triller TV. That's what I gotta say.